If you had bet the over on Joe Flacco passing yards yesterday on FanDuel, you would have won a lot of money because even as the weather gets colder, the NFL deals on FanDuel stay red hot. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action than right now. The app is simple to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much, much more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL, an official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Guys, Joe Flacco made his Cleveland debut yesterday, and at least in my eyes, played pretty damn well. Did you guys see the same?
I thought he played very well. I was shocked.
Letter grade?
I give him a B only because that pick was just so.
That's exactly what I have.
It just killed him.
Yeah.
And it was such. It wasn't like he got unlucky. It was a horrendous throw.
His only bad throw.
That was horrendous. I thought till that point he was an A. I mean, but that was so bad, that throw, that I knocked him down to a B. But besides that, I mean, for the first 53 minutes of the game, there's no way you could have expected any better. His ability to run play action and fool the defense was on point.
Yes. Now,
sometimes he had the delay in his throw because of the chemistry with the receivers. He obviously had good chemistry with Elijah Moore, especially after Cooper went out. He was throwing to him all the time. And Elijah Moore did a nice job. He played pretty well in this game. Obviously, he had his biggest yardage total as a Cleveland Brown. But he seemed very in command of the offense. And there didn't seem like there was much rust, considering he hasn't been on the field in 11 months.
I said earlier, I thought Joe Flacco should have played over DTR. I said I've been begging for a veteran to get in here from weeks ago. I thought Joe Flacco would play exactly the way he did. The only thing I said was, hey, is he going to throw you an interception or there's going to be something with maybe a couple of times during the game where he has ball security issues. But overall, I thought he did a great job. To me, he's starting the rest of the year. And
really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. From me, like, he's starting the rest of the year.
I agree with that, too. Did you give him a B as well?
I actually had him. It was crazy. I had him at an A- until the interception.
I had him as an A until the interception.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And I was talking to Earl, and we was on the chat, and I said, look, this is one of the better games I've seen any of the quarterbacks play, all of them.
I think that this was the best quarterback play they received all year until
the pick. You guys are crazy.
I don't
until
agree.
the pick.
You're crazy.
No, I'm not.
It's not better than Tennessee.
What were his numbers? Call up his numbers for Tennessee.
He was
289 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So more yards, same touchdowns.
Okay, yeah. If he
but
doesn't
he was
throw the
27
interception,
to 33.
What?
Deshaun was 27 to 33 in that Titans game.
Yeah, but look at the yards and the touchdowns. They're right there.
I know.
Well,
but
also in the Tennessee game,
it absolutely destroyed their chances of winning the game.
But in the end, it doesn't
matter.
matter.
So you got to ding them for that.
The pick's part of the game. I think Watson's performance against Tennessee was the best. I think his performance against Baltimore was second.
I do
too.
Third. I do too. Maybe you guys didn't hear what I said.
Yeah.
I said until the pick, that was as good a quarterback play as we've seen all year. And you can't argue with that.
I still think Watson was better against Tennessee, but it was right there. I mean,
it looked. I mean, if you put them side by side, he had a much better completion percentage.
Yeah.
But if you put them side by side, I thought Flacco made throws that I didn't see or Deshaun Watson make. He was able to throw the ball downfield as well yesterday as we've done it all year. To your point, moving forward, it's got to be the starting quarterback. That's what quarterback play looks like, minus the pick.
Now, I will say, look, here's the thing, and the reason I elevate him too is we heard about the Deshaun Watson rust. Now, I'm a Deshaun Watson fan. I think he's that guy. But Joe Flacco came off the street, off the couch, and looked like that. There's something to be said for that as a quarterback.
Absolutely.
And we
can't use rust as an excuse anymore for Deshaun.
Right. Look, at least Flacco has put to bed the rust thing. If you're not playing well, you're just not playing well. But like you said, that ball to Amari Cooper that he threw down the middle, that was a dart. The ball in the play action to Elijah Moore, that was a dart. And the way they came out and ran the play action, we were asking all year.
It worked.
What we're seeing That is what Kevin Stefanski's playbook is.
I think that's what he generally wants to do.
That's him.
The pro-style quarterback.
That's him.
With the play-action fake being a huge part. By the way, if we can go back and show that pick one more time, if you throw the interception, take a look at Ford and the space he would have had to run the football had they handed him the ball there instead of trying to throw an inexplicable look at that.
Yeah, they was kind of sitting on
He's
that.
got a backer one-on-one, and outside of that, there's nobody. And it's at minimal. It's a 6 to 8 yard game.
I got no problem with throwing deep there.
I did.
Why? Flacco's been playing great. You just said it was the best game of the Browns. Why would you not? Why not?
Because there's 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
You need a touchdown to win. What is that? What is the book prescribed there?
I don't know what the book prescribes.
I can help you.
That's what
a 6-minute touchdown drive. That's what the book prescribes.
Okay.
Why are you going deep? You're going to give the Rams the ball back if you complete that pass and score.
So what?
So what? Here's how you win.
So they should never throw the ball deep ever on a final 6-minute drive?
When the game calls for it, go deep. But here's the problem with that. I think you said it on the call this morning, but this is what I was saying in real time watching the game. You get a 3 and out. They did. Perfect. You got the ball. You got 6.5 minutes to go. The drive prior to that was a 75-yard touchdown drive that took up how much time?
I could look it up. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
About 7-8 minutes.
There's your ball game. Do what you just did. Why are you getting greedy and going for 45 yards on one play?
You could still throw the ball deep and then run after that.
Bull, you're right. Yeah. You can. I'm not saying that you can't. I mean, clearly they didn't. They couldn't. They didn't pull it off. What I'm saying is, if you complete that pass, now you're at the 30-yard line with 6.5 minutes to go.
You're complaining? I just don't understand the complaint.
Because
you're losing the game.
No, Bull, in the lab, what I want, you say, okay, it's 6:30. If I'm coaching Madden, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, I'm not going to take a deep shot. I don't want the Rams to touch the ball again.
Well, but you can't guarantee that you're going to be able to methodically point it down, push it down the field.
But you just did it.
Okay, but
so rely on
your defense just stopped them, and can't you rely on them to stop them again?
No, I don't want them to see the ball again. I don't want to put it in the hands of my defense.
You can't guarantee that that's going to happen.
There's no guarantees in football.
Of course. So
but what I'm saying is, in a lab, if you're just saying, what does a game? How do you win this game now? When it was 20-19, I said it out loud. Here you need a 3 and out. You got to have it. Defense stood up, did their job, 3 and out. I imagine the defense was pretty sick to their damn stomachs when they watched the offense go out there for 14 seconds. Well, here you go, boys. You're back out on the field.
Well, tough. Make a play on defense now.
You're right, but Bull, what I'm saying is there are a lot of different ways to win a football game. I know what you're saying. I'm saying by your way. Your way is, let's say they do complete that. And they finish the drive and score a touchdown, and there's 4 minutes to go.
Okay.
Now you have to put the defense back out there, which has had 1 3 and out all day.
I'm not an idiot. You don't have to. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Well, I don't know that you do.
Well, I obviously do because you've said it. I get it, but it might not. Methodically moving it down the field doesn't always work either.
It just did, though.
So just because it did doesn't mean it's going to work again on the next drive.
It doesn't.
It did on the first drive of the game, and then it didn't the rest of the first half.
But here's what we know won't work. We know that because they did it. A deep shot.
The bottom line is,
what
are you talking about? He threw deep balls throughout the game and it worked.
That was the farthest ball he threw all game.
I mean, by air, he also, he could have checked it down. He could have threw it out of bounds. He tried throwing it flat.
He made a bad decision.
He never should have thrown the football. I'll give you guys that. But what I'm saying is, in my mind as I'm watching this play out, I'm like, this is perfect. We got a 3 and out. We've got the football. We've got 6.5 minutes of clock, so there's no issue with time. Run the ball, dink and dunk, move it down the field, score a touchdown. As a matter of fact, if you want, you can take it to the 5-yard line and kick a field goal and win the football game.
The idea that you purposely just don't try to get the ball down quick because you're afraid to score too quick is ludicrous.
Well, I'm not saying you on purpose don't get it downfield. That was a choice that they made.
Hold up the yellow card.
Let's go downfield.
What does G. Bush have to say?
Bull is saying take points when you get them. Here's what I'm saying. Because normally I would agree with that. But how many times have we been watching a game and a team scores and you go, uh-oh, too fast. They scored too quick. They left the other team too much time. I'm trying to eliminate any possibilities that the Rams see the ball again.
The bottom
so
line,
really, I said a touchdown drive.
Yeah.
Hell, give me a 6.5-minute field goal drive. I'm okay with that. Give me a 4.5-minute field goal drive.
And maybe, who knows? At that point, they thought they had something deep. He shouldn't have thrown the ball. He made a mistake. I'm not going to kill Kevin
And Bull,
Stefanski
even
for
if
that.
it was completed,
Yeah.
and take the points when you can get them, I absolutely agree. If they're in a defense that's got a 9-man front and you see that you've got one-on-one coverage somewhere, take it. They're in a high cover 2. It was the exact defense that you wouldn't want to throw a deep ball in.
But that's on Flacco. That's not on Stefanski.
I don't blame.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what the play call was. I don't know if Stefanski was asked afterwards. What I do know was, and I don't think he checked out of that play. So I think whatever was called, they ran. But to me, it was driving me nuts that when you looked at what Ford had in front of him, because it was a play fake to him, they were in a pass deep defense. He was one-on-one with a backer, and there wasn't another player within 15 yards of him.
So I just watched it again from the All-22. There was pressure from DeJuan Jones, which forced Flacco to stop, plant his feet, and then try to throw. Jay, you were right. There was plenty of space. If they had handed the ball off, he probably would have got 6 to 8 to 10 yards.
And maybe more, but at least 6.
Yes, there's definitely space. It also looked at when Flacco wanted to step up and throw, John Johnson, the safety, had just started his break.
He did.
Hadn't flown over yet.
Sat on it.
When he had to plant his feet and then throw again, he underthrew it by about 10 yards because he didn't step into it.
Yeah.
And that's what allowed John Johnson to get there. Who knows what happens if he lets it go on time? Would Moore have got the catch? Who the hell knows?
We don't know.
Was there definitely
And
space
we'll
to
never
run?
know.
Was there definitely space to run? Absolutely. But I don't think Stefanski
I'm just saying
dialed
that
up
if
the
you, of all the plays
underthrow
that you
15
can
yards
dial
play.
up there and trying to figure, I always say before the drive, okay, what do you want to accomplish here? What do you need to accomplish? And it's the later you get in a game, the easier that question is to answer. And for me, as I'm watching this drive start and I'm saying, okay, what's the objective of this drive? My objective on that drive is to take 6 minutes off the game clock and at least kick a field goal. And if you take 6 minutes off the game clock, you will be deep enough in the opponent's territory to kick a go-ahead field goal. Now, if you don't, then you can put it in the hands of your defense. So it's possible they would have run it 3 times and had to punt. Very possible. But at least that way, you have a chance to get the ball back.
The reason I think he did it was, if you look at that game, the one thing that I liked the most from Flacco was anytime there was pressure, anytime he didn't have anything, what did he do? I'm throwing the ball
Throw it
out
away
of bounds.
wisely.
And I think that Kevin Stefanski, when you call in that play, if you see in how Joe is handling it and he likes the way he's playing, he's thinking, okay, let me call this deep shot. If Joe doesn't have it, he's going to be smart with it.
He made every right decision to that point.
It's up to that point.
Yeah.
And get rid of it, and we can come back and run the ball on that second play. And I think in the flow of the game, that's what he was thinking. He was going to give him that liberty because he's a veteran and he had made the right play. I think Joe got a little excited in the pocket. He threw that football, and if you ask him, he'll probably say, that was on me. I should
I'm sure I didn't hear his post.
He wants that back.
Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He's going to own that. He's a veteran.
His quote after the game,
He knows
by the
it's
way,
on him.
I'm upset at myself. It was a bad read. I know I can play this game, so that's not my thought process at this point. My thought process, I'm just disappointed in myself. I let these guys down. It was a bad read.
That's what I would expect him to say. What I want on that drive, by the way, is I want 5 or 6 on first down. Mm-hmm. Stay on schedule. It's very important. Now, the next drive, obviously, they're down because after the interception and they get the touchdown. Then you take any mystery out of the equation. I always say when the other team knows what you're going to do, you're halfway to being defeated. They know. So if it's a run play and they know it's going to be a run play, the likelihood of stopping it is far greater. Once the mystery was out and they had to pass every play, we saw how that movie ended. They went backwards, safety. Mm-hmm. So when you telegraph what you're going to do to a defense, you're halfway to losing the game. You've got to run in pass situations. You've got to pass and run. You've got to keep them honest. The run game wasn't working with all this great success, but they were averaging more than 4 yards a carry. I know we talk a lot on this show about analytics. Let's use analytics for just a second in this discussion. You're averaging 4 yards a carry. You get 3 downs to make a first down. 4 times 3 is 12. You can move the football down the field and move the sticks 12 yards at a time, mixing in a pass here and there to keep them honest, short stuff in the flats, high percentage completion, completion percentage. If it's not there, throw it away. But try to stay on schedule. Don't get yourself in 3rd and 17. You're going to take a sack for a safety on that. So I wanted to see them run on first down, chew the clock. 6 minutes and 30 seconds with 2 first downs becomes 2:30 left in the game. And at that point, if you get 2 first downs, you're at midfield. Now, you're another first down away from trying a big field goal. And it was interesting how this played out to me. I thought this is going to end exactly like the Baltimore game. He's going to miss an extra point and get a chance to kick a late field goal to win it. And I really thought that's what was going to happen until they went for broke on the deep ball.
Well, here's the thing. I think, the same as Deshaun Watson. He gave Deshaun Watson that liberty to go down the field and do it. I think in the case of Kevin Stefanski, I don't look at it as, now if he would have done that with P.J. Walker or called that play with DTR.
Oh, that's then
it's inexplicable.
Then I can understand why fans would be screaming.
But if you do that with Deshaun Watson or Joe Flacco, the veterans, they can make the throw. You put it on their plate and hope they make the throw. You made the wrong choice.
In terms of Flacco starting the rest of the year,
are you in on that?
I wouldn't commit to him for the rest of the year. There's no point in doing it. If I'm Stefanski, I would definitely start him again this week, and then I see how he plays.
I agree with that.
Because if he keeps playing as he did last week, yes, I would start him for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
However, because of his age, how's he going to – I think you mentioned this last week, or maybe it was Tyler.
No, it was you. He looked great the first 2 weeks.
No, I mentioned that, but you mentioned specifically now he took some hits.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at the end of the game, he got hit.
No,
and it's like, well, how's he feeling today?
I bet not well.
And what's that going to look like? And so we'll see. And Jacksonville's going to be obviously a tough game. So I would not. Stefanski's not going to go out there and say he's the quarterback.
No, you go game to game at this point.
You go game to game, but I would definitely start him again against Jacksonville.
I agree.
We were talking about it. I don't think I take away from this game is this. They want to, Deshaun Watson is more comfortable with shotgun and stuff like that. But that's not. I feel that's not Kevin Stefanski's forte. That's not. It just seems like that playbook they promised us is a bunch of shotgun plays thrown in with no concept, with no mixing. And it just doesn't seem like Kevin is comfortable in that world. Where he is comfortable, it gave me shades of 2020. When I saw him running the playbook, remember we talked about what happened to all these bootlegs y'all was running.
I know.
When we talk about what happens to the play action with Deshaun Watson.
Look at the first one, how Ford was wide open on the naked boot.
We hadn't seen any of that. And I think if you look at the flow of the game.
That was a Baker play. That was in the playbook for Baker. I don't even know that Brissett ran that.
Well, Brissett.
But Baker ran it a lot. And then they went right back to it, and Ford. The Rams hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
And Ford was by himself.
I thought they had a lot of Jacoby Brissett plays in there, too.
Yep.
They threw the ball down the seams a lot more. This will be very interesting to see how this translates because next year, as you have Deshaun Watson, they still have to come back and figure out an identity as to what the offense is because you still didn't see what it was. You still don't I don't know what they do with Watson. Or what they do best, but
I guess in defense of Kevin Stefanski, it's because 4 different quarterbacks have run it, and you're trying to build an offense that plays to the strengths of each quarterback. That's why, if you're watching this in a vacuum and you don't know that there's 4 different quarterbacks, you're like, what the hell is this team doing? Yeah. They're all over the map. Well, they're all over the map because Flacco can do one thing well. DTR had his strengths. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's strengths look different in terms of him being able to run the ball, and P.J. Walker, I don't know what his strengths were.
Yeah.
They were probably running a hybrid between the DTR and Deshaun Watson offense.
They went from doing no play action to play action on almost every throw, it seemed like.
They really did.
I mean,
a lot.
He did a fake on almost every
but
throw.
Boy, doesn't he carry out the fake well?
Phenomenal.
His mechanics on the play fake are perfect. Footwork. It reminds me of Boomer Esiason.
Boomer was amazing.
Boomer was the best
Baker
I'd
was
ever
actually
seen.
pretty good at play faking, too.
And I love the fact, so a lot of people want to just go all or nothing on Stefanski. Like, I can't do it. Like, when you watch football, you play football, I don't care about narratives. At the end of the day, I just got to talk about what I see. And the play action was actually a brilliant situation because it neutralized Aaron Donald.